shirt and baggy pants, the old soft shoe. You jump so high, jump so high, then he'd lightly touch down. Mr. Bojangles, Mr. Bojangles, Mr. Bojangles, Dan. In this lesson, we're going to take a look at a song I make just about all of my students learn. Great tune. 1969, Jerry Jeff Walker has been covered by hundreds and hundreds of other artists, from Neil Diamond to, of course, Sammy Davis Jr., to John Denver, to Bob Dylan, to, wait, John Denver may not have done it, to David Bromberg. I'll talk a little bit more about that in just a few minutes, but, oh, and of course, the band that had probably the biggest hit with it, the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band. Now, it's a song, it's a very simple cowboy kind of country folk tune with a great story, and I'll get more to the story in just a minute. And it is in very easy, 3/4 time, very easy strumming. We're just going to keep a steady bass, down, down, up, or bass, down, up, some kind of a very simple 3/4 strumming pattern going. We'll talk about that a little bit more. And we're going to be playing it in the key of C. Now, most people, Jerry Jeff Walker sings it in D by capoing it up to the 2nd fret. The Nitty Gritty Dirt Band's also in D. Now, they had mandolins in it, creating a lot of the sound. And so it'd be just as easy to play it in D if you want to sing it in D. So it works just as well. We're not going to talk too much about transposing it. I think you can probably figure most of that out. If you want to play it in D, either capo it to the 2nd fret or figure out the chords in D. It works really well in D too. If you can't sing it in C, put it in A. This is a song we can really play it in lots of different keys because there's nothing very distinctive in the playing. It's more of a campfire song, folk song. Just strum the chords, keep a really fast 3/4 strum going, or pretty fast. So Jerry Jeff Walker, really interesting, Texas-based songwriter who toured extensively in his early days, in the late 60s and early 70s, with David Bromberg. And in David Bromberg's recording of this from an album, is it Suffer to Sing the Blues? Not sure. Anyway, from David Bromberg's first or second album, he stops in the middle of this song and tells a great story about Mr. Bojangles. Now, the song is, and most of it was because, again, he spent a lot of time playing with Jerry Jeff, performing it every night, and he does point out that sometimes they would do terrible things to it, having played it for as many years as they did out on the road and things like that. But the character, Bill Robinson, known as Bojangles, was a famous actor, died in the late 40s, I believe, 1949, but made some movies with, especially his most famous ones for many of us would be movies he made with Shirley Temple, including things like Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm and a few others, actually many others. Very famous tap dancer, though. Matter of fact, so famous that in New Orleans, people became known as Bojangles. They took on his name as a Bojangles, a street dancer. And so everybody would refer to somebody who did this type of street dancing as Bojangles. So this song is not about Bill Robinson, whose nickname was Bojangles. It's a hybrid story of various characters who, and most of it is fictional, except that Jerry Jeff did meet a dancer in jail in New Orleans. Bromberg tells a great part of this story. He says that Jerry Jeff had been drinking a bit and propositioned the right woman at the right time in the right bar, nope, in the wrong place. And her husband, the bartender, called the police. So he was in a cell, basically the drunk tank, and with a few other folks, and one of them was asked by somebody else in the cell to dance because they'd heard him refer to himself as Bojangles or something like that. So a little of it is true story from Jerry Jeff being in jail and meeting a New Orleans street dancer using the name Bojangles, of course in reference to Bill Robinson. Okay, didn't mean to make it that long a story, but of course, in the rest of this lesson, we're going to just take a look at what you have to do to strum it, the chord progression, a couple different possibilities because the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band had one or two little things a little bit different, but we're going to look mostly at Jerry Jeff Walker's version, and you should have the words and the chords there in front of you, and that might be all you need, but let's take a look just around the corner at what I'll give you some hints.